Buenos dias and good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Fort Myers. Inspired by love, we transform ourselves and serve others. I am Leslie Gatto, a worship associate serving this morning with Andy Solis, also a worship associate. Our minister, Reverend Arthur Jones III, has taken this Sunday to again be with his mother during her cancer treatments. But he intends to be with us next Sunday. Please hold them in your hearts. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us, online or in person. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing and learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. If you are one of our new friends and would like to learn more about us, today there will be a UU information gathering after the service in the conference room, which is to the left as you leave the sanctuary. You are also invited to complete a connection card found in the chat box online or at the welcome table. And speaking of old friends, today we'd like to thank and honor Bill and Jane Petrarca, as they have sold their house and soon will be moving. Bill has served in many various leadership roles, including president at UUCFM over many, many years. There will be a cake in Hobart Hall following service in recognition of their many contributions. Please visit our Right to Read library to the left as you exit the sanctuary. I know social justice issues are important to you, so please join us today on the Scream Porch at 12:15 for our monthly meeting. And there's a note about our order of service today. You will find many variations to what is written in your order of worship. Please just go with the flow. And now, let us begin our service. On December 28th, 2014, Vila Alcorn died by suicide. At just 17 years old, she had suffered stigma, abuse, and isolation at the hands of her parents after coming out as transgender at age 14. Refusing to accept her, Lila's parents sent her to a conversion therapy. December 28th has been declared Trans Youth Day by Trans Lifeline in remembrance of Lila and the many other youth that die by suicide each year. There has been an exponential increase in LGBTQ+ youth suicides, particularly trans youth in the United States, especially in red states like Florida. In large part, these suicides are due to bullying, harassment, and abuse from peers, teachers, and parents. The persistent and continued attempts at stripping trans individuals of their autonomy, safety, and personhood are dehumanization at the highest level. Lawmakers and anti-trans policies are stripping individuals of not only their basic human rights, but their humanity as well. Every child, teen, and adolescent deserves to feel safe and have their well-being protected.
Good morning. Bienvenidos. It's wonderful to be here with you today, and I'm a little nervous filling in for Reverend Arthur. His sermons are so wonderful. But the end of the year is a really special time in most traditions. I was recently at a Interfaith Alliance of Southwest Florida meeting where the theme was how the major religions, all of them really, use light in their services, especially around this time of the year. So while it was described in different ways, the message was essentially the same. Candles are lit to dispel the darkness and bring compassion and love into the world. And it reminded me, and it became quite a Rumi fest. There was lots of Rumi because he was very much about this commonality. And it reminded me of Rumi's poem, which I know I've read here before, but it always, I think, bears repeating. It's called One Song. And it says, "What is praised is one, so the praise is one too. Many jugs being poured into a huge basin. All religions, all this singing, one song. The differences are just illusion and vanity. Sunlight looks different on this wall than it does on that wall, and a lot different on the wall over here. But it's still one light. We've borrowed these clothes, these time and space personalities from a light. And when we praise, we pour them back in." Last Sunday, Reverend Arthur reminded us that it was the winter solstice, the shortest day and the longest night of the year. It's the point at which the days slowly become longer. It's a rebirth of light in a way, a new beginning. So today's service will be about rekindling this light that each of us has in the new year. Together we will formalize this rebirth of light with a short ceremony that everybody can participate in. We'll commemorate the rebirth of light by rekindling our own inner light and bring our attention to the mystery and the sacredness of our existence. So let's begin our service by lighting our chalice.
Please rise, embody your spirit, and repeat our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Where do we come from?
to the growing mighty choir that we have now. That was wonderful. Where do we come from? Who are we? And where are we going? Three great questions that go to the heart of the great matter, our lives. So before we set our spiritual intentions for the new year, it's a good practice to reflect on the past year and let go of our regrets so we don't carry them into the new year. We'll do this by writing down our regrets and on the 3x5 cards that everybody hopefully has two of and a pencil. If you don't, if you don't have one or you don't have two cards and a pencil, please raise your hand and we'll get you one. But we'll do this again by writing down our regrets and burning them as a way to free ourselves and not carry them into the next year. For the next few minutes, I would invite everyone to reflect on, our actions of body, speech, and mind. What did I do last year that was not in accord with my spiritual path, whatever that may be? For us Unitarian Universalists, what did I do last year that was not in accord maybe with our great covenant? Where may I not have dwelt in peace, or maybe did not seek the truth and love, or possibly didn't help another when I could have? What could I have done better? And what I would invite everyone to do is to take note of the feelings that arise when we bring these things to mind. So please, we're going to take a few moments. Please write down those regrets on the 3x5 cards. And if you need an extra card, it's okay. So once we've finished writing down our regrets for the past year, please bring your card up during the stones of intention and place them in the basket that's in the middle. And after the service, there's a little chimenea right outside of the doors to the sanctuary, and we'll burn those as a way of letting them go for the year.
If you have a stone with you this morning, I invite you to hold it close to your heart. Infuse this stone with your intentions, joys, or sorrows, and imagine it joining with others in a bowl of sand, representing this community of loving support. If you don't have a stone, you can pick one up in one of the 3 baskets beside the candles. Online, you may enter your joys and sorrows in the chat box. I will place the first stone with great sadness for a long-term beloved member of our congregation, Dr. Roy Green, who passed away on Christmas Day. Please keep his loving wife, Nancy, and the rest of his family in your prayers. A celebration of life is planned for sometime in the spring. And now a final stone is placed for all that remains unspoken in our hearts. May our prayers be heard and our hearts be restored.
So as Leslie mentioned at the beginning, we're going off a little off script today. So for today's service, we've combined the centering meditation with the sermon. So for the next few minutes, I'd invite everyone to together center ourselves. We can close our eyes or not, but bring your awareness to being here in this wonderful sanctuary with this wonderful congregation. Feel the floor, the ground under your feet. Feel that connection. Feel the connection to the backrest of the pew or the chair. You might want to bring your attention, your awareness to the connection to the person next to you. Maybe we can feel the connection to the space of the sanctuary. Maybe even the congregation as a whole. We know that we're all interconnected. We hear this all the time. But how often do we actually take the time to take a moment to experience that interconnection? So again, as we prepare to set our spiritual intentions for the new year, let's begin by taking a little time to experience the connection, to the extent that we're able, this connection to the sanctuary, this community, the greater community, and each other. The end of the year is a time of renewal where we can pause on these holy days to set our spiritual intentions and aspirations for the next year. It's an opportunity to reflect on what our aspirations and intentions are and to commit ourselves to living a life that's in accord with our spiritual path. Again, as Unitarian Universalists, we recite the covenant that we recited earlier, that was written by James Vila Blake in 1894. We recite that during each service. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And I've always found that at the end of the year, in order to really begin anew and to recommit myself to my own practice, it's helpful first to get in touch with this mystery that is our human existence. Day by day, we're seemingly inundated with suffering and anger and discrimination. We see it all the time on television. Our politics, our society reflects this. It's endless. And as a result, a lot of us can experience a sense of separation, isolation. And it can be difficult to also see the mystery of our lives and the sacredness of our lives in the midst of all that. But what I'd like everyone to do is to consider a few things as we're doing this. Let's consider the mystery that each of our lives really is. Each one of us encompasses an endless series of moments, right? One moment after another. An endless stream of things that happen just the way they happen, and things as they are. So consider just for a moment all of the things that had to have happened for each one of you, and for me, and everyone, to be here today. And maybe not only this morning, all of the things that had to line up and happen just the way they did, but what about yesterday? Many of us travel down from up north to join us at UUCFM in the winter, right? A mystery that all of that went just the way it did, and we're here now together, preparing to bring in the new year. All right, traffic lights, health concerns, all the things that went the way they did. For those online, you might want to consider all the things that had to happen for you to be watching via Zoom. The computer, the phone that you're looking at had to be made. All of the components had to be assembled just right. The people that assembled the components into your computer or phone had to be born, and their lives had to leave them to be assembling that phone at some point. All of the people that had to involved in generating the electricity for this to be possible. For me personally, exactly 1 year ago and 8 days, 1 year and 8 days ago, I was pulling into my driveway. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon and was hit by an intoxicated, distraught young woman. I got out of my vehicle to see what happened. It wasn't that bad. Unfortunately, she turned around and came back and hit me again. Had I taken one more step, as I was thinking about doing when I saw her coming back, I wouldn't be here today. And I was also able to walk out of the hospital with no head injury, no spinal injury. I mean, I was going to be okay. What a mystery, right? I mean, if 1 inch this way or that way, things could be completely different. But yet, here we are. That's just a mystery to me. But what about our parents? If they had not met, we wouldn't be here. So there's all of these things that had to happen just the way they did for our parents to have met. and to have conceived each one of us. What about their parents? Probably immigrants coming into this country and all of the perils and danger that involves. If we sit and reflect on that mystery, there's no beginning. There's no end to that. It's endless and undefinable. The magnitude and the interconnection of it can't be quantified. At least I can't quantify it. And I think that mystery is what makes it sacred. I mean, this lectern, right? This tree grew somewhere. And here it is. It manifests here in the UUCFM sanctuary. Some call it God, some call it Buddha nature, whatever we want to call it. That's just a name. I think that the important thing is to touch that and appreciate it. And this is especially important at the end of a year when we're getting ready to begin a new year and to set our intentions, to appreciate the mystery that we're all part of. So now that we have let go of our regrets for the past year and touched the mystery a little bit, hopefully, we can set our intentions for the new year. So as a congregation, let's take the other 3x5 card that you have and write down your personal spiritual aspirations for the coming year. What does each one of us want to commit to as a spiritual practice to help us walk our path and give our life meaning? What guideposts do we want to set, or roadmaps do we want to draw for 2026? Obviously, these are different kinds of goals and intentions, right? These are not, I'm going to start going to the gym every day. Right? This is a little more than that. So for the next few minutes, let's formalize those by writing them down on the 3x5 card. So these new cards, and if anybody needs extra cards, we can get you one. But these new cards we can take with us as a reminder of the intentions that we set today. I've done this for many, many years, and I keep all of my cards together. And when I put the next year's card, in the stack, I look back. What were my intentions last year? What were my intentions for the year before? And it's an interesting retrospective on my own practice. So I would invite everybody to keep the card, and hopefully we can use that as a reminder of the intentions that we set, the path that we want to walk in our life, and what gives our life meaning. Thank you.
If you love this community, I invite you to support the work of our congregation. What are you grateful for? The music, the programming, the uplifting and thought-provoking sermons, the coffee and potlucks, cups, the social justice we do. All this and more is possible only through our financial contributions. Every month, we also donate funds to a local community organization who shares our values. Our cash community sharing partner this month is the Alliance for Fair Food, also known as the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. They have a video that they would like to show us for their appreciation of what we do.
En esta Navidad y fin del año 2025, queremos agradecer a toda nuestra red de fe por todo su apoyo y solidaridad en la lucha de los trabajadores de Immokalee. Juntos, tras décadas de lucha, hemos creado un programa que protege a los trabajadores agrícolas.
En este año 2025 ha sido de grandes retos, pero con la conciencia y compromiso de su parte. Seguiremos creando cambios. La lucha por los derechos humanos es aún más importante en estos tiempos.
Esperamos que el año 2026 venga lleno de amor y solidaridad. Podamos contar con su apoyo, como ha sido hasta ahora. Muchísimas gracias por ser parte de la familia de la coalición.
¡Feliz Navidad y próspero año nuevo! ¡Coalición presente!
All loose money will go to the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. If you would like your offering to go to UUCFM, please designate it on the envelope found at the end of the pews. On Zoom, click the link and designate UUCFM and/or our community sharing partner. If you are a guest, please place your connection card in the bag. The morning offering will now be generously given and gratefully received.
This is a day of new beginnings, time to remember and move on, time to believe what love is bringing, laying to rest the pain that's gone. And let us with the Spirit's carry, step from the past and leave behind our disappointment, guilt, and grievings, seeking new passage sure to find. This is the love is made, makes all things new. And we will gather around the table to taste and share what love can do. This is a day of new beginnings. Our love is making all things new. This is the our love is made, makes all things new. This is the our love is made, makes all things new.
Please join in the words of gratitude. By the work of our hands and the work of our hearts, our love is made real. May we be grateful for all that is given and grateful for all that is shared. And now we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We bring kings of Orient dawn, bearing gifts we traverse afar, yielded mountain, poor and mountain, following yonder star.
Thank you again for joining us here at UUCFM to formally set our intentions for the new year and begin anew, to start the year fresh. I hope that doing this together brings us closer to each other as a congregation, and that our spiritual aspirations are at the forefront as we start the new year. That we have a clear roadmap for how to live a life of compassion, a life of meaning, as an individual, as a congregation, and as a community. Thank you.
After the worship team exits the sanctuary, please greet your neighbor. Then join others in Hobart Hall to the right as you leave the sanctuary for refreshments, conversation, and a farewell cake for Bill and Jean. On Zoom, please stay on for connection and conversation with each other. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday.